that reclaim. Two reclaims below. Not worth buying. They're gonna shake it. Be right back. It bottom tick, so that's solid, but the higher time frame is like oof. See how she's struggling here? Just wait. See if they puke it. There's a slip right in this section. Back into the reclaim potentially. I'd like to see how it does its thing down here. Okay, that reclaim was filled. Pay very close attention to this section here. Long 85.75. Of course, it comes back, so we're gonna have to fucking cut it. 83s is the gap jump. This is not bottom ticking, but it's not worth selling until it pulls up above 85.50 because that's a high node. There's a slight reclaim above. Now, I want to see a top tick here, but this is not a top tick. This is actually rallying. There's a bit of slip on the low end. There's a slip. Ooh, that's a hard reclaim. I don't want to short that. That's too. Nah, fuck no, dude. That reclaim is too much. I don't want to be a part of that short. Fuck no. Look how nasty that reclaim is. I don't want to long it either. There's your fucking gap jump. Which failed, clearly. Reclaim back to 84s. $2,000 lots. Not jumping gap very well. There's a stop run up. Let's see if they hit it. I need a top tick at 83.75. It's not, it's embedding it. There's the top. Boom. 2,000 lot. Baiting it again. I'm short 82.75. That's a fat fucking reclaim through the gap. Hopefully we can blow all this other bullshit fucking out, but then you got a fucking reclaim right the fuck back. Which, guess what it's gonna fucking do? It's probably gonna hit it because this market doesn't give clean fucking hits. Come on, gap jump, man. It's fucking mid-rolling. It's already mid-rolled here a million fucking times. Like, the probability of a fucking fifth mid-roll is not there. So it should hit 71s. And it should overshoot 71s. You see how I waited for that top tick, 83.75? How sure are you, Sully? What the fuck's at 62? I like those odds. I don't like this fucking distribution building right here. Well, for me, is there's been so many pivots here, right here on this 3-year. And there's a gap here, and this is an old school playbook setup, so it should hit 7150s because it hasn't. This is the fifth test, man. The probability of it hitting it that high, especially after such an extreme swing up, too, man. And then it should overshoot it, so we should be seeing 60s. So I mean, yeah, I could see 62s, but the problem is this is starting to fucking V out and on second deviation. How much more of a pullback? It could get such a gnarly pullback that it fucks everybody that got short with me. Like you just don't get these trades where you get 0 MAE and 100 MFE. It's just like they come back all the time. Here we go, but I'm banking on this gap. Of course, it's snapping hard as fuck. Huge selling, but they just got reloaded on. There's so much slip in here. Look how it's climbing hard, man. Like see what happens is it barely drops in, but it snaps upward. That's just a sign that it's gonna continue up. Oh fuck. Oh shit! Oh, the cat's got a mouse. Ooh, I didn't want him to bring it in. Oh fuck. Oh, it's 12:52. God damn it. Oh wait, it's not 2:50. Shit. I forgot it's midday. That was 2:50. Nah, see how it keeps digging and it just keeps hitting. Like it can't fucking get up. There we go. Huge slip. Oh fuck! The mouse is in the house. God damn it. I guess I didn't close the fucking door. Under a piece of Tupperware. Dude, this is looking like fucking absolute dog shit. Those of you that have been in the streams for a while know it was not the first time this has happened. It's probably the 5th time this has happened. Dude, this is digging in way too much. I'm gonna flat the trade because it's good. I'm gonna just flat the motherfucker. This is not completing that gap. The EV is shifting drastically here as well. That should have fucking gap jumped all the way through. They're digging in so fucking hard here too. Excuse me, it's hitting this low note on this composite. I mean, I'd be interested in a buy too, but not at this moment. Because this ain't jumping gap. It did not pull a complete. Generally, it'll hit all the way across. Now, I would watch the probably watch that 8250. I actually want to mark that because it could hit that 8250 and people could think it's running up, but that's the edge of the gap. And then it could rotate back in and then finally hit 7050. So I'm gonna mark that. That's actually a very high prob deal. See, and it's top ticking, but it's not. It's not. There's also a good reclaim above, honestly. I'd like to fucking get a little off that reclaim. But you would have to pull it relatively quickly. Actually, the reclaim stops at 81.25, so never mind. Oh shit! I actually need to. Since I'm flat, I need to get this mouse. Fuck what? Trading? Yeah, get out of here then. Look at that channel up. Come on. Hit this gap. Keep going. There you go. There's a gap edge. Slight slips. Looking for a short. Short 82. Probably should take a little off on 80 because it's channeling up still. And there's a reclaim back to me. I'll wait, see what this does right here. Good. Also, what I like about that 82, I need to keep paying attention. There's a lot of reclaim up. Is not only is it gap edge, but it's the low node of this lower profile. It's very wise to scale in this section. There's a slight slip up 80s, which it's stalling on, and then there's a bigger reclaim up. Slip down. Nope. They're slipping it up. Through the slip low. This is a channel. 80 is the low of a channel, a micro channel. As you can see, this thing is like a channel monster today. On the 3-second and the 30-second. This is where it cracks the channel, but it could be a bottom tick on it, and then it rolls back in. We'll see. High node 7950 isn't a problem child. Then you got your slips up. Ah, yeah, good shit, good shit, good shit, good shit. This should gap complete for me. So I have multiple factors of support on this 82. This is actually this is as A plus as it gets. Like I know I say ooh A trade, but this is like as A as it gets. I haven't had something this sexy for all week actually. So now it could channel right here, obviously, right? Because fuck me, right? that I'm still banking on gap. With an overshoot. Bottom tick. That's not good. It has a micro volcano top between 78 and 79.50, so it could get very turbulent in this section. As such, excuse me. There we go. We're breaking it, which is great. And there's, I think, reclaim down here too that I could take out. Holy fuck! It's all sell. Big iceberg 76. You know, we've seen several 2000 lots flash too on the bid offers, which is you don't see that every day. So maybe I can hold this for the next month. I'm just kidding. I would never do that. I'm a pussy. Obviously it's trying to mean revert. You did get a bottom tick right there. So that cannot be ignored off of a more major pivot. And you had the volcano top at 78, so it could jump 79.50 incredibly quickly. Like so. Now if that bottom tick gets now what I'd like to see is 78 hold offer. So this is like the flop river and turn. So that's the flop, which is the well, actually that wasn't the bottom tick. It don't matter, that's still the flop. Now 78's holding offer would be the turn, which it's not. It's holding bid and sucking. There's the turn. And then it hitting down here on 75s would be the river. So the EV's in my hands. It's like each time, so there's like specific pieces of structure. I mean, there's a reclaim up, which is not good. But there's several little micro areas that are the flop, turn, and river. And do I am I getting more than a pair? Do I have a potential of a full house? And for me, I have a pretty good hand, I would say. I have a straight, to be honest with you, from this point to at least that fucking 70. Now we got to be careful because it could smash it and flip it hard. Now, actually, here's your river. There's your bottom tick. And there's reclaim back in too. So we do have to be very aware of that. Heavy stall, not even a buyer. You just had only a 4 lot traded 74.25. So there you go. There's the flush. heavy duty shit here. I think there might is there a higher time frame reclaim? We're just fucking short. Really do want to look at the charts, but I can't. I have to pay attention. Come on, baby. Just press them for me. We're gonna take one off. We're gonna take a half clip here, just because she's struggling so badly. It's a very solid trade. I don't remember what that green square was. Reclaim and slips here. Major slips. It's okay. That pop, that could be just a pullback. 2 deviation 1 for a continuation down. God damn it, man. Every time that blue timer goes off, it's very jarring. Fuck. Like, I can't talk to you guys because it's. So that could be a first deviation pivot. So that's like a kind of like a turn card. You know what I mean? There's more than sitting in this hand. It's more than turn. It's more than flop turn river. There's several of those stages. So like we already went through it. So that would be another flop for me, and then we'll kind of like use those analogies. So that's good. That means I have cards in my hands. The expected value is good, and then 70 is still on deck. And I do believe there will be an overshoot into 66s, and if I can get 66s, we'll pull 66s. Now she's obviously being a bitch right now. Well, structurally, it's over too. This is the fifth fucking test of the pivots, man. On a gap that didn't gap? Fuck, dude. This is like super high probability, man. She's gonna shit itself right here, man. Just like I'm doing right now because I had Taco Bell yesterday and I cannot stop farting. So the market's not the only thing crapping all over itself. Come on, hit them 70s. Does this smell good? I mean, everybody likes their own brand, right? That just gap hit. We're gonna flat it. All right, that was a beautiful little fucking trade. So, I mean, it hit the gap. I don't know what 4 and 48 on that. I entered 82. Because I know this setup. I know that fucking setup. Yeah, I faded that top. But I know the setup. Like I know this setup. Like This isn't some bullshit. Oh, let's hit a slipper or reclaim. This had multiple factors of support on it. It could still drive. It's just like it's hitting this edge here at 68, and it sometimes it'll hit that and it'll come back incredibly quickly. Holy fuck, dude, that cell tape is off the fucking chain. They suck. These sellers suck. These sellers suck bad. Come on, guys, get it the fuck down there. I mean, I'm down. I'm out. Oh, you got so much slipping right here. They're about to get fucking unwound on. I would like to long it, but I don't know where. Got to be careful. There's a slight reclaim up. They're taking it back. Let's see if they can hit this upper reclaim. Oh, right there. Oh, I took a break even. Nah, they ain't juicing it very good. You have reclaim up still, but it needs a dump a little more. There you go. Reclaim low. Reclaim low. This is where you have to let it keep filling the slips and reclaims on both sides. I don't think I can get it. There's too much bullshit lower. Oh, there's a slip lower. That's not worth hitting. There's a slip lower. It could hit that slip and chain react on the low side. It just did it again. And man, that's not top tick, so there's a high prob of a stop run 73s. There's too much bullshit to where it could juice it to 70 at this point. It's too tight in here. There's still reclaim low. There's a slight reclaim up. This is a 50-50 shot. I don't like it. Too much reclaim low, and it's got poor lows, but there are definitely stop runs up on the 73s. This needs to hit the reclaim low or dig. I'm looking, man. I'm hunting. It's channeling actually, so there's a potential of a hit. It's micro channeling. Heavy stall. I'm in it at 73.25. I gotta pull it. Break even. Not worth it. Hit another go. It's not worth another go. It needs to roll out. Light channeling still. It needs to roll out, man. It needs to puke lower. I'm not interested in double hitting in here. I don't give a fuck if it rallies through. It's getting stuck here too long. They need to puke it harder on the bottom. There's a very like tight panel here. I don't like hitting them tight like that. It's too tight. It needs to start to flow and get looser. Because it's like 3-4 tick range right now. Come on, fucking hit lower. Puke. They need to puke this slow, and they can do a better job than that. Better reclaim up, but I ain't interested in it. It is doing a soft roll. Slight channel up. You can just make it out on that 30-second chart. Reclaim up. Let's see the reclaim down. There's a reclaim down. No buying. It's not a good hand. I mean, hitting 7250s into the upper reclaim, but it's not a good hand. I don't want to do that. Reclaim up, bottom tick, micro range. But there are poor lows. And the higher time frame is lower, so we don't want to go against that, especially with this type of selling. So that play I need to like get that out of my brain. That play does not exist. There is some reclaiming up. I'll be right back. Oh, there's gonna be a slip upward potentially, but I would not. I just don't want to fade a high time frame. That's the thing. Okay. He bottom ticked, huh? Too much of a potential of a mean revert. But this could unload hard. I was pissing, so I missed all that. Too much of a push up. And it's going to go double distribution. So if it pops up, it definitely could come back in. It needs a pull lower, though. We need to see a push. Let's see, she keeps getting stuck at 73, 75s. You got poor highs there. She's not willing to give it up. There's an ever so slight slip up, but that's not a good hand. Good puke low. I'd like to see a bigger puke low. Bit of reclaiming right here. There you go. Dump. Bit of a slip up. This would be right in here is about first deviation of this lower curve. Let's see it. Bottom tick, 70s. And then we'll reset the left profile. And we'll watch the tape. Slight slip 70, 50, and we'll see what she does here. Oh, there's the pile drive. This is not fadeable. This is the third bottom tick. I don't know what to make of that. She should be puking a little harder. We'll watch. Now I know there's a very aggressive slip right there. Missed it. Would love to have taken advantage of that. Um, I think it's gonna puke more, to be honest with you. Short 69.75. Gotta be careful. This is probably a scale. She's being slight first deviation roll. We're gonna pull it for, we'll pull half. We're gonna pull the other half, 4 ticks. There's a major slip up. And it's grabbing the backside of this higher node on the fucking 3-year. And the fact that we're struggling down tells me it could slingshot it back up. There's a slight slip low. There's a slip up. There's your slip up. There's your slip up. This might second leg. I'd be careful on that. That's a very aggressive play because you do have the reclaim down. Let's see if she second legs. No. Here's a reclaim. Reclaim fill. Now we have now it's starting to rotate, potentially. There's a reclaim fill. Now I need to see it not selling. No, it's not there. It is not there. I know there's another slip here. But nah, this is pointing to a downward push to that liquidity zone. There's no buying anyways, so we don't want it. Slight channel low. Right here, you can kind of see it setting up. And what would the bottom of that be? This is a gap jump. There's your mean revert. Let it come back. Come back. There's your high. That's a lot of fucking order flow. There's no reclaim low either. See if it mean reverts. See if we get the mean revert. There's the mean revert. And it's channeling downward. There you go. Another bottom tick. Now can we hit this gap? Right here, watching this. 65, 75s. Reclaim up. It is channeling still. Huge amounts of selling with a lot of iceberging. No buyers at all. Top tick. Look how fast the order flow is. Reclaim in, top tick. Potential mid-roll here. Nope, she's driving. This thing needs to hit lower. It's ranging beautifully. Bit of a reclaim up, but I don't. Took a 2-tick loss trying to hit the reclaim up. There's a reclaim up. Unit at 68.25. Definitely would like to recoup these 2 ticks. Oop, look at that hard hit. Maybe I can hold it ever so slightly. Pull half, 70.50. So that pays for the 2-tick loss. Top tick. But it has very poor highs. Probably could ride this to 76. Potentially. That is a hell of a top tick. That stall is wacky. Look at that reloading. Look at that iceberg at 70, 75. That is a iceberg from hell. Slips on the up. There you go. That is a potential breakout to hopefully 74s. If I can pull a 74 on this, this would be an insanely good point-to-point trade. Now it could channel. It's not, so the top tick is on deck. Now we're back in the gap. So the thing is, the gap could shoot back. So we could potentially target the mid of the gap. What's the mid of the gap? 70, 78. 78 might. Let's take a couple off right here. I can't even get filled. There. Took some off right there. 2 lots left. Um, this could roll back in. This is just we need to we're gonna flat it. That was a really good trade. Really, really good trade. 1 in 27. Did take a $200 loss getting into it. So it might continue. It's going double distribution right here. That's the thing, guys, man. If it needs a puke and it's not, dude, they're gonna unwind it. Obviously, trying to catch that is a cunt. You know, what was good was the fucking ranging and how many slips the ranging had. And I just took advantage. Like it put in a solid micro range, 67, 70s, with a shitload of slip in between each rotation. So she's gonna probably bang and fill in here. That low noted area. There's nothing good at this point. Oh shit. Really wish I would have held that motherfucker to them 70s though. 78s. Oh well. Could mid roll this gap. Paneling up. Excuse me. See it right there. Again, another fucking channel. Which is the theme of the fucking day. But it's also filling all this bullshit in. Oh shit. Bit of a top tick. So now it's no longer a channel, it could micro range. So like, is it gonna cycle up? Seems like it, honestly. Honestly, I wouldn't even count this bullshit. So it could start the hit down here, like right in this section, and then roll back. But I don't know. Like these fucking playing the like, cause that's what this is one distribution zone at this point. So there was a micro curve, barely did shit. Another micro curve, it jumped it. Kind of like what's happening here, and it's happening here on the smaller time frame. It's like the two exact same fucking patterns happening simultaneously almost. And you have it here as well. There's a bottom tick, but this ranging is bullshit because there's too much randomness in between everything. So I'm kind of out of trades for a moment. So see, this is where I get a lot of dissonance. It could rotate the low node and continue to cycle down, or it could bang here and then start to cycle up onto the upper side. But if it hits this upper side, it could rotate either this high node or this low node and then cycle back through. And this is where it gets very like confusing for me. Now you're on gap. So you're on gap with a high node. So there is a potential of it pivoting back up at 6950s or what have you. But there's no like it's there's no like good slips or anything like that. Well, there are a few slips lower to 6875s. Obviously, she's selling hard here. Also, really, what we should probably do is fucking take all this bullshit off. Because now, like, I'm starting to see, that this whole fucking bullshit is a fucking channel. The entire motherfucking thing is essentially a fucking channel. What is it, fucking 2016? Come on. There's that point of control roll. But you do have a lot of reclaiming lower. There was no good slips, so I don't. Let's see if this reclaim get filled in. Okay, that's a double test of the point of control, but there is a reclaim up, so I wouldn't really go for it because now the probability of it breaking is there. But there's too much reclaim on that top end. Gotta be very careful with a fucking hit low. See how she's not going? You have too much reclaim above, and there's a lot of buyers hitting. There's too much reloading on 6750. I took a break even. I gave it a shot short. But the reloading down here is stupid. That's a fucking load of. That's too much. That reloading, you're gonna get in trouble right there. You got this fat fucking reclaim on the upside too. It's trying to jump a gap here. Which would be 65, 75. I mean, it definitely is pointing to a move down, but I don't. I don't like the reloading in this section. It's very unnatural. Slight channel upwards with a fat fucking reclaim on the upper end of this. There's that reclaim. Can it chain react the other reclaims? There we go. This could be a channel top. I went 68.25 long, took one off at the channel top. But there's a bigger reclaim up. Can it hit the other reclaim into fucking 70.50? There it is in the 70.50. A lot of unloading. Now this could channel or it could top tick. So let's watch as this unfolds. There's a lot of reloading here. This is a good leg. I'm going to pull it for the whole scalp. That was a beautiful trade. Extremely patient on there. Watching the microstructure, watching the reloading. I think paying attention to the smaller channels is key. Because that's what I noticed right here. You can see where it top tick, bottom, and then it started getting stuck here, but you had reclaim right there, and then you had another reclaim there, and then you had another reclaim there, so that's why I hit. Very good combo, honestly. That was a nice pocket kings on that. Probably could have milked it, but I'm not going to do that. Super solid. Commercial hedgers. I gotta go piss again. See what's happening to that mouse outside. Where's your straight flush play? Which one? The one that was a butte? It was this gap at 82. It was a pullback to 82. This trade here, short it to 70s or whatever. But I'll probably do the video on it publicly, so I'll be right back. Ah, she's coming back, I see. Obviously, that channel's still on deck, you know what I mean? But the meme is so fucking... And then it rolled. So it's still cycling this bottom profile. um, it looks like, there we go. Oh, I ain't got no interest in it. Ah, it's channeling again, so you can see it right here. Oh, excuse me. I don't know about playing a break of a channel. That's not. Too much sweeping below. Oh, shit. Jumping that gap. Not the, like, big gap, but the, Also, she is staying on top of that high node. And then that last pivot low was the test. So I mean, there is a higher probability of an actual push up, but man, there's so much bullshit below us. I mean, look how fast that tape is going. That is pretty quick, but where's the slips? Look at the stall. You got liquidity on 75.25, so that could pull the trade back up. Micro channel. Bit of a micro channel here. Like, too much stall up here for my own good. The test would have been 74.50. Well, that's where I would have wanted it. Now that's a channel top on the 3-second chart. Ooh, she's actually pressing. Top tick the more major pivots with a reclaim low. Slight reclaim low. Hit that reclaim low. They're not even. There's a reclaim low to 76.50. Bottom tick. Big reloads, icebergs. There's a reclaim is filled. Now there's a low node here. It could hit that liquidity zone low. Heavy stall. There's a slight slip low. There's a slip low to the liquidity zone, potentially. Micro channel up. There's a micro channel complete. Lot of slip here. Fuck loads of slip. Took a break even, try to take advantage of that. It's a long. Need to see it come out. I don't like it. There you go. Collapse. A lot of slip in this midsection. We do want to start tracking it. Huge selling. A lot of iceberging. Let her retrace. I'd like it to get into that liquidity zone at 70 foot. Wow. It's hitting that slip hard, man. It's got really gnarly slip on the bit of a bottom tick too. 76.50 long. Wow, that was another good hit. We're gonna take half off here. 78. Come on, baby, fill me. Okay. Just because of that top tick. That was a very solid play. Another set of slips, 79s. 79.50. Could rotate, but if it bangs it out, there's a huge slip through it. She is channeling up. Let's go ahead and pull the whole trade. That's a fucking amazing scalp. I'm not getting filled at 79.25. So we'll pull that target because the thing is I wanted to get filled on it. And if it goes back to it, there's a high probability of it going through just like that. Because there's an EV shift. Every pivot is an EV shift. Now you do have these little poor highs at 80s. Could it blow it out? Actually, we should take advantage of a run back to 86s, to be honest with you. So I will attempt to milk it out. Let's take off 2 here, and then we'll try to run the rest to 86. It is channeling, so we do want to be extremely careful here. Slips. Now let's see if it slips back down. It doesn't. There's some top side hits. Now there is the chance this pivot over here gets hit at this point. So I'm gonna watch this pivot at 83s. She is stalling too much. There's a micro channel here which could break. There's the top of the micro channel. It could come back in because it does have reclaim. Now it's, what time is it? 1:58. Okay, we do have a massive slip up, but she is digging, so she needs to hit that slip up. She didn't. She just top ticked it. So we're gonna pull. Who the fuck?
What do you mean, who the fuck? Sorry, dude.
You're so loud. Let me turn you down.
I'm gonna do a quick capital flow teaching thing in about like 5 minutes. I don't know if you want me to do it here or zeros thing or
I mean, I'm trying to
you.
trade. Could
Oh,
you do
okay.
it in the zero section, please?
Yeah, I definitely. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Cool. See ya. So if you guys want to go do that. So we pulled the whole trade at the 80s because I mean it was a good trade. That entry was fucking solid too. My God. What time was that one? That one was a beautiful fucking go at it too, man. Shit. 1 and 24 on that. That was at 156. That was a really good fucking hit. 156. Just want to make a note of it. Okay. So I was just part of pulling that was, it is fucking doing this bullshit. You know what I mean? So and this is a bigger fat fucking meme right here, so there could be a chance of it pulling and then blowing it out. And I believe you got a top tick here as well. Now you didn't even get that pivot hit. You got a lot of liquidity on 80s, and that's clearly fucking snapping the trade. Take a note on that 80. Hmm. It's channeling here. I don't know, man. I know I hate channels, but goddamn, kind of leveraging them ever so slightly seems to really key shit, especially today. Fuck, man. See, there's a small channel here. You can barely see it, and there's a lot of slip on it to the upside. But within this channel, there's a smaller one sloping downward, which is interesting. You can actually see it here where it goes up to here, but now there's a smaller one hitting like so. So and then but that real tight one, it's sort of soft rolling and shit. See, it just rotated this micro channel. Now it's gonna probably stop run this pivot, this pivot, this pivot. We'll see though, because obviously there's so much fucking reloading in here. I mean, it could do whatever the fuck it wants. So then it should be hitting each of these pivots. but it's not. It just top ticks, and now it's starting to cycle into a range. What's interesting is that they start to cycle up into a range, and then if you there's a reclaim right there. Now it's kind of a pennant formation, but like it's obviously on the center of that mean. So it being on the center of that mean, this is just really a shit spot. Now she's blowing the fuck out. Now there could potentially be a go at this low node to since this upper mean is being hit, but not going to touch that um at all. There's a bit of a bottom tick on off that other major pivot, but there's another major pivots over here to where it could gun those down. So you do have a fat reclaim. Well, it's not that fat. It's only a 2 tick reclaim above. There's your 2 tick reclaim, and then it comes right back in. It's not a big enough reclaim to want to like actually trade because especially with I mean like how 2 ticks. Nah, man. You want to go outside? Well, come on. I do want to. And really, the entire today's today is a reclaim to the downside on a higher time frame as well. So she's starting to micro channel upward again. It is obviously pinning this upper section. Too much I mean, there it goes, blowing through that area. That's where we originally would have liked to have held. Lots of reclaim. She's building a profile up here. Now it overshot that pivot, so the chance of it stop running everything is pretty high, to be honest with you. Potentially back to VWAP. Like all this is bound to get blown out. Would it be right this fucking second? I don't know. I don't. I wouldn't want to be hitting this right the fuck this moment. There's too much reclaim on the low. There's obviously liquidity zones at 85 and 86 that are going to hold it. We can kind of pay attention to it potentially. Then again, it is shooting this that it could start to bang, 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 and then shoot back down. So at some point, it becomes a coin flip. You have massive reclaim low. Of course, it's going to take it. Now, here's the upper edge of this gap. It needs to finish this reclaim on the low, which it's not, which is interesting. It actually didn't finish that reclaim. There's a smaller reclaim up, which it's top ticking. Could it hit the smaller reclaim up? Right here? It is, but yeah, it just filled it. Now, could want to fill in this 3-year. That's what causes some dissonance. There's a lot of conflicting shit, to be honest. So that big ass reclaim up though could get filled. I would like to short it, but I would need to see a top tick up here, and I don't want to fade something this insane right this moment. Now it's actually micro channeling. 85 could potentially be along, but the problem is smack dab on the point of control right here. And there you go. That's it failed. Still has this channeling effect to it. But there's too much reclaim low. We never top ticked. We never quite top ticked. Thought about longing 84.25. Oh man, this needs starting to channel a bit lower actually. I want to know if it's going to hit that reclaim low. Bottom tick. Let's see it pull. There's a reclaim up. There's a reclaim up. Hmm. The reclaim up. There's reclaim low. There's a butterfly here, which means it has a reclaim on both sides. Then it hits the one on the low side. Reclaim up again. It needs to hit the upper reclaim, but there's the big ass reclaim low. This would not be the best hand for the short, but it could be a potential hand. Obviously, it's stalling very hard here. There's a reclaim low with a heavy stall. I'm short 81.75. I'm pulling it though. I'm pulling it for a tick. I'm not even able to get out of a tick. I'm gonna get fucked. I think I'm gonna get ran over. I got the break even on it. It refused to actually slam that reclaim out. I mean, it did a little bit. I mean, yeah, it did fill it. It's got a downward channel on it. A lot of reclaiming up too. It is not cleanly taking this out. There it goes. So this could be an interesting area because it could rotate here, and there is a slight reclaim up. It's going to be a 3-tick reclaim from up here. Let's see if it hits it. But it could come back down just as quick, right? So there's a 3-tick reclaim. I'm in at 79.75. It could come back down as fast. I'm going to milk it. Now there's a channel up here. We'll take 2 off at 81.75. I only went 4 lots on this. It is channeling downward. And there we go. I think we might bust this channel out. Let's see if we can bust this channel out. We are busting. There's a top tick. And now if this top tick slams, I'm in trouble. And that's a good scalp. We'll take it. Here's what it looked like. Man, I am fucking on fire today. So, look, you had the big reclaim, right? Then she starts channeling up right here. Okay, well, from here to here is a channel. The beginnings of it, but now it's starting to slope down, and then it's starting to slope down from here to here to here to here to here. But it's having a very hard time blowing out this reclaim. Like it should have blown it out here, and here clean, but it didn't. So once it reached in this section, I took advantage of this reclaim because this one was filled in, and was hoping there'd be a chain reactive stop runs there, but I think pulling it where I did was a really good little play, and this is where I got the free peek into that. So just kind of chain reacting them. Uh, I do enjoy the entire. I think channeling does need to be paid attention to because now I'm seeing how it kind of is cycling between micro ranges and channels. And this market is it just doesn't have a clean move, and you have to time these channels just right is what I noticed because I've gotten shooken out of a lot of shit because of the channeling motion for a while now that I think it's time to pay attention to them. Now I was hoping it would hit this high node and continue, but obviously she's filling this section, which and but then on the higher time frame it could be continuing to fill this section, and I think the probabilities of anything really solid is not there. There's too much dissidence, which I've been streaming for a hot minute. You do have multiple factors of support for a rotation here, and then you got the actual solid channel that this isn't that great that it could blow it out on the bottom end. It is also winding up right here, but at the same time I'd be nervous because of it bumping that high node back into this area, which it's chopping. So the fact of the matter is it is touching this high node again. It is wine walking. I think it does need to push up a bit. um you are getting another fucking slight channel here just on the top side. um that it The fact that it's double tested this, there is a higher probability of this actually bleeding lower. But if it bleeds lower, it could potentially hit this low noted section, which would theoretically be a bottom tick of these more major pivots, and then it could roll back in. So you can see that that's where that's if I did attempt a short based off this channeling or whatever, then that's the flop. And do I have good hands there? So it depends what the order flow does at that point and how sticky it gets, right? So there's that slight pullback, a bit of a double top. She is micro ranging. It doesn't have a channel anymore, so it kind of cycled out of that channeling bullshit. Well, there it goes on the bottom end actually, but I would have liked to see maybe a top tick right there. Now, I mean, like I said, it could be a short, but I don't. I've played in here a little too much that I mean, I'm out of trades to be honest with you. I'm kind of abusing what I'm supposed to be doing. Um, actually, the fucking so there's that drive down I was talking about. Um, so here's the flop actually. This high node's the flop. You could rotate it, which would make sense. It is at the bottom of a channel. Now it is driving it, so there's a bottom tick on a micro range. So I mean, that's right there's your bottom tick with some slipping potentially. So this is the flop, and the flop does not look good. So this is where we would, okay, there you go. Now it drove it again, but here's the problem. It's channeling down and you have slips up. And it is a high node, so there is a high probability of the slip up actually working as such. Now there's your channel, obviously abused, and that is not a top tick, so this could actually continue up from this point. Um, Bigger channel has been hit. So this is where management maybe scaling something out would probably come in play had we took that short up in that section. And the tape is so intermixed right now that the retail tape kind of is really not giving anything. Don't get me wrong, it shouldn't be ignored completely, but so now there is a higher probability of it driving, which it is, into this low node section. Now I would be a bit nervous to say that that would be your turn card. Also, it is bottom ticking these more major pivots. It could potentially drive a little bit lower, but now you're in that low node. We do know from the prior chopping that there is a higher probability of it mean reverting. But then again, your first standard deviation did rotate, and this could want to fill on the 3-year. So that's where the dissonance sort of comes into play. The So there you go. That's would warrant a hold because of how fast the order flow has sped up. Kind of wish I took that short now that I'm at. So it's not home free just yet. Now you're at the mid on this other curve. Right here, this would be the river. Mm. Also, this is such a high node, this could potentially deflect it back in. It's a high node on the 3-year, so there could be a potential of a deflect in. But the tape is excruciatingly quick. It's not hit any major pivots on the low end, so there is a potential of a drive low. I would say the hand isn't that good down here, but there's a bit of reclaiming up, and this is the river, so is it gonna pop? We need more information. We could attempt it, but we would want to do it on a lower lot count. So in it at 2 lots, I took a break even to short it, obviously. Um, this needs a pull up. I need to see it pull up a little more than that. It's getting too stuck here. I'd like to see it pull up a little more aggressively, and it's not. It's not giving a good enough aggressive pull up. Cycling into a range. Just patience on it. There's no good reclaims. It's so tight. I do not like when it gets tight like this. poor low at 70.50. But that doesn't mean shit. Like it could bottom. There you go. There's a bit of an unwind. There you fucking go. Now that could be a top tick of a micro range. But this is the river card, and the higher time frame is pointing for a move up. So the smaller time frame is definitely pointing to a lower push. There's a reclaim down, which could be taken advantage of. But it's not willing. It didn't hit that reclaim, so I actually took a 3-tick loss trying to hit the reclaim back. There is a slight channel, so it could push up from 72, 75. There's that push up with some slip. So it is channeling upward at this point. There's a micro channel. Now, if it could push up a little harder, there is the low node, right? Such. This is your channel up with a slight reclaim down, but this is so manic that this higher time frame could be in control. This would be better executed on a small lot than a full clip. And she's obviously embedding here. Now you do have this reclaim low. And I did short it, 74.50. That is a channel low, so I do need to be very aware that this could reclaim in and then it bust out. Now with this bust down, this is a bottom tick. We should probably take 2 off right the fuck here, which we just did. So that pays for the small little loss. And then if we can bang it out into this mid again, there is an extremely high probability of this actually going through. About a measured move. So the measured move on it, and we do need to pay attention while we pop in the measured move, would be 66.66. It would be the double. So it could go to hell. At this point. So we'll pop that out because now we do know where that is. I need to cover the flat key because this is still the mid. We could still get kickback off of the mid. And the EV on it is shifting. We do have a massive reclaim up. So it could definitely bang that. So there's that reclaim and it comes all the way back. We are still sitting in this. We do have a reclaim low, which could be taken advantage of. Like this could drop in as aggressively as it came up. So we're going to sit because of that reclaim got filled. Now it is starting to channel upward ever so slightly. We could get a pivot a little bit lower down, maybe 72.25. That was a pretty good scalp. I probably should have just pulled the whole fucking clip, to be honest with you. Now she's cycling up and there's no cards. So I did go to put a stop at 1 tick in my favor, but it actually just dropped in. They're still reclaiming up. This could be it. Nope, there she goes. Too much reclaim up, but there is a high probability of a bust low. So I didn't panic cut on that run up because it could have reclaimed back in. And now we're going to most likely see these pivots here with such poor lows that it could potentially blow out. We do want to look at 6666 because that might be where we actually run. So we're still holding this 74.50 low. I do want to take one lot off here just because of how hard it's basing. Let's see if there's a bottom tick. There's a bottom, not well, it has such piss poor lows, and we have one lot left. There's such an aggressive reclaim back in. I am very nervous about that. But we pulled most of the trade and we're up on it currently. So let's go to adjust the stop, and then we can probably show this out since we know what we are looking for on the low. This is an issue in this section. Again, massive reclaim up. Still holding the one clip. She's obviously taking the reclaim. And if it does not immediately fall down right here, it's going to come into me. So see how it's stalling on this upside? We're going to just pull it. It could go back in, but um, it's not worth finding out at this point. Wish I would have pulled that in the lower because that was a really good scalp. I mean, I think pulling that third lot off was a good call. And to be fair, it is channeling, so it might be good. Could have held it, but it in my opinion, it should have blown out. So on the flop, it wasn't good. So and now, I mean, look, it's still kind of creeping. So it's double tapping up here, which is kind of a problem. And what could happen is it could just start chopping this area since it is point and control. So that's probably what's happening at this point. But there's so much dissonance because the higher time frame is most certainly pointing to a potential move up. So we don't know though. This is at this point it's a coin flip. So it triple topped at 74, which is interesting, and now it's hitting the reclaim low. There's so much reclaim up here that who knows really. You huge clusters of selling, so the sellers are most certainly hitting the tape. Slight channel lower right at this moment. You can clearly see it on the 30-second, and there's a fuckload of reclaim up. But it's so close to the fucking lows, I'd be a little nervous about attempting that. That reclaim up does look sexy as fuck, to be honest with you. Is she gonna take it though? It's kind of gone a little, like I would have wanted to hit it a little earlier. You do have liquidity at 69, which could actually pull the trade in, which it just did. So, and it failed that reclaim up. So there's a smaller micro reclaim on 68. Um, Potential of a stop run a little bit higher. There it is. That could be a top tick or it could hit the reclaim up, but there is a reclaim low, so we do need to pay attention to that reclaim low. There's a reclaim low. It is channeling upward. There could be more of a push down, so we do want to look for more of a push down. There's your push down. I would like to see it drive a little harder than that. A little further would be nice, like so. And then there could be a shot at 68.75. Well, not anymore. Yeah, right in here for a long, but it probably would want to do that on a smaller hand. There's that shot. Beautiful. Now I'm kind of banking on that upper reclaim. You do have the liquidity that could suck, which it is at 69s. So now she's starting to turn into a pennant. So the whole channel bullshit is not on deck anymore. And then the probability of a push lower is most certainly there at this point. Um, Took a break even. Now it's channeling lower. Excuse me.
doing that is the SEK, the Swedish crown, and the Japanese yen. Like they are both like equally as much down on the year versus the dollar. It's insane.
What's
Like
the krone
there's
symbol?
That be? Why would
What?
that be?
What's the
Um,
krone symbol?
SEK.
The CK. Okay, thanks.
Basically, the same
Zentos and
same
yeah.
reason why they're suppressing it. Basically, we have a free floating currency, but it's being or usually is being suppressed by our central bank to basically devalue it. So we export more quantities of goods,
Okay.
which in turn exports unemployment to other countries. Basically, that's the point of it.
Right.
Hence, keeping the unemployment levels low in said country
Right.
artificially. It's
So
not
kind of
popular, but
So kind of supporting your economy.
yeah,
YOLO.
Yeah.
no, it's like it's basically ticking into it. They're still absorbing or reloading at 67s. They need to sweep it. Anyway, go ahead, Zero. Did I cover it or?
Yeah, you did. You did. I was actually going to talk to Chia about Swiss, but Retro, did that answer your question? Like, do you
Yeah.
have additional?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
There
guess
we
like
go.
today it was just a extreme move, which
Yeah.
I guess was gonna happen. at some
Yes.
point anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
Which kind of led to the bonds. I think because all those charts of mine were just like so significant in their moves that I never saw them all like trending that way. Okay, thanks.
Chia, you were here yesterday, didn't you hear that I said I was long Swiss? I think I said it in the chat somewhere. Yeah, I was long Swiss. Yeah. So my reason for long Swiss is mainly just because of the price action that it gave me. So, and this is the same price action that we're talking about as far as structure goes. So, again, this is a significant low, this is a significant high. We cracked it, right? This didn't crack it. We came back and test, whatever. It's not the best of setups, but once we cracked it, once we got back down, I'm expecting the buyers, whoever bought here, to continue to defend. Now, whoever is shorting here, I was completely okay with them taking a little bit lower. And I actually marked out my take profit levels. And we did talk about rule of 7. And rule of 7 right there. You guys see that line right there, that blue line?
Yeah.
Look at the high of the day. And I didn't even draw this in until now. I mean, I drew this in earlier, so it's not even like something I drew in right now. Like the high of the day is right there at the rule of 7 mark.
What is the swing
Now-
used for that?
Excuse me?
What is the swing used for that?
The swing is the swing low to this swing, because this swing, after we cracked it, this swing came back, right? This big red bar right here.
Yeah, never
So-
did it before.
Yeah. So that is the rejection or the retracement, and that's the swing I'm using. The reason why I haven't really brought up the rule of 7 is because I feel like some people have more issues with entry than they do have with target acquisition. Targets are really are obviously important, but they're not that important. And if you remember what I've said, each of these blue lines right here is just 1, 2, and then there's more up here, are the rule of 7. Now, if you guys, Chia, Santos,
I
Nabi,
set up
you guys,
mine. I have set up now. Okay.
the rule of 7.
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
retracement set up for those ratios.
These are okay. But I've always said, and I hope you guys remember, I've always said based on my personal trading, rule of 7 always goes to the second target. For me, for my eye, it goes to the second target. Guess what? This is 1, this is 2. Right there to the tick. Now, I'm not happy that I went to the tick. I much prefer not to retrace and continue to go to the third target, the fourth target, and so on and so forth, or 4 targets up here. But, that's, how it is. I've noticed that for my eye, it goes to the second target. And I take the majority off of the second target. When I say majority, I mean 90% of it. If not, I leave like one stupid runner on it. But yeah. So that's the Swiss Chia for me. It's just based on price action. And I did watch the order flow a little bit. It didn't really support it, but based on price action, I was willing to take a stab at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Zero, what will the what? Oh, timing for the yen, sorry. Bank of Japan, I think they're going to, I would say, I actually don't know that answer. I can only guess, and I don't think it's even a good guess, so I'm not going to even answer that. I think Risky probably has a better answer for that, personally. Risky?
What?
You're up.
Which one?
Read Scar's question. What will the Bank of Japan's lack of tightening mean for the yen?
I mean, like if you're to generalize it, if they don't tighten, if you're gonna like explain macroeconomics from an educational standpoint, the lack of tightening means that the opportunity cost for people who invest will tend to fly to the currency with the highest interest rate, which is currently the US government. So that's where the money is gonna go until things change.
Hence, that's why the DXY is going up, the dollar index.
Yeah. You like currencies are no different from any assets. You will buy the asset which gives the highest return. No matter. From a asset allocation standpoint.
Mm.
So if you buy the dollar, it doesn't mean like you don't need to buy like 2-year treasury bonds, even 1-year treasury bond. You can buy 6 months treasury bonds or notes that are nominated in 3 months if you want to. Really. Like there's no reason like if they get paid amazingly well for those notes, there's higher security in owning them than there is owning any risk assets. And that's what you're seeing most of the time right now. Because there's no reason to buy European shit devalued
Damn, you don't have to be that
interest
harsh,
rates.
bro.
I mean, they're shit. The interest rates that you're getting paid in Japan is also shit. The Chinese is also shit. And if you want to
Being
buy
racist.
Zimbabwean debt, I'll go ahead. You know that's the best yielding one. But
Easy,
are you?
easy,
What are,
easy. Okay, so
Um,
I just have to say this is fresh. It's very nice conversation what we're having right now. Not very straight, risky.
I mean, I'm just selling it how it is. I'm a
He's
bit
not holding
tilted because
back.
I'm
Yeah.
just tilted that the ES is not going to my fucking target. Like, come on! I have 8 minutes before rebalance. I need that, like, because I know they will buy the crap out of it during the rebalance.
guys, just mark this really quick. 116.20 for bonds. That's where I'm expecting a bounce. So again, that's 116.20. Okay. Risky, if you're cool, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay.
I mean, I explained it. What needed to be explained.
Yep. So, one last question before I explain the entry. For those of you guys in here yesterday, essentially pre-marketing the whole entire, goddamn thing. What did I say about pressing yesterday? I said I used that word midweek shuffle. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I
No.
remember.
Honestly speaking, no, I don't.
That's okay. No, be honest. We're not here to sound right? We're here to try to help each other. So I said, don't press like if you're short and if you're swinging, I said, do not press your shorts or don't press the direction that it goes to. And I said this pre-market. Do not press the direction it goes to. And I did say you will get another shot at whatever direction it is. If it's long, you'll get another shot at it. If it's short, you'll get another shot at it. You guys remember that, right?
I was
Okay.
on the stream at that time, but
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
you were there for the discussion.
That's fine. I hope Harvey and Imperial and John, all of you guys heard that. So, given that, look at what happened on the overnight's price action. How many times you got an opportunity to go short? Because we had that initial push down, and I said, if we continue, you'll get another shot at it. You don't have to press your luck, so to speak. We got another opportunity, whether it's late day, whether it's, the opening of the market, so on and so forth. So there are certain times in the week, which is called a midweek shuffle, that you do not press it. And I did say that if you're short, you can get out midday to late day. Find a good exit and get out. It so happened to be very close to the active daily number, which I did on stream say that I'm going to disregard it, which was a mistake. It was not really a mistake. It just was a unfortunate thing. But what I'm trying to get at is if you read the market was going to go lower and you were short, you could have taken money off earlier and waited for another opportunity today or overnight. That's what I mean by the midweek shuffle. Does that make sense to you guys? Like why it's called midweek shuffle or how?
no, sorry, I didn't
Okay.
get it.
So let's just say yesterday would have went up, right? Let's just say we would close at, let's just say 37.70. Let's just say that, right?
Okay.
We got all the way up there by midday, right? And then we came back a little bit. I would say get out of your longs because you're going to get another crack at that long. If
Oh,
you are long biased and it got up to 37.70 or whatever the hell I said, it came back even a little bit or it didn't come back, does not matter. You're going to get another crack at it, meaning it might drop all the way to 37.40 overnight or pre-market or even a little bit further, and then you'll get another crack at that long, meaning you can save yourself 40 points or 30 points, unless you got an extremely good price. Even then, take majority of it off, you'll find another opportunity to get in. So the same thing for the shorts. As it came down, I said early on in the session, take your money early, you'll get another crack at that direction.
I see.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by a midweek shuffle. You get it now, right?
Yeah.
Anyone have questions on that before I move on to the entry? All right. Let's move on to the entry. All right. Okay, no question. Use triangle someone, but you can't. Okay. So let's just say at roughly about this area, we're noticing that the bonds are not moving up, and then now they're moving down. At 9:15, whatever, so right. And I'm gonna play this out exactly how it would have happened for me. We had a crack, we had a break of structure. Chia, Navi, Santos, you guys should all know this. We had a break of structure exactly at 9:32 Central Standard Time. So that'll be 10:32 Eastern Standard Time. Do you guys see that?
No,
Right there.
I can't answer.
You can't answer?
Well, I can, but I won't. Like someone else should answer, right? That I mean,
No, it
you
doesn't matter. I mean, Chia
Oh, yeah.
answered, but
we did. We broke
okay.
the high that was made between 940 and 950, or even the high between 950 and 10, right?
950.
950. That guy there.
You talking about?
The low that made the
No.
high.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But before we do that, do you see earlier on at Central Standard Time, 9:32? Do you see that structure being broken? Chia says yes. That's fine. And Santos, don't be afraid. If you don't have to give people a chance to answer. If they want to answer, they'll answer. If they don't want to learn, they don't have to learn.
Okay.
It doesn't really matter to me. I'm helping the ones that want to get help. Get help.
So we broke. I see breaking at 940. 940.
Yes. Okay.
Oh.
So we.
Okay.
Yes, you need to get a little bit more granular, which is fine, but you're right, 940. Let's use, you know what, Sensos, let's use your example, 940, okay?
Yeah.
I've always said, break a structure. What are we looking for after the break a structure?
For a retest. For a
A
new swing high.
retrace.
Yeah,
Right.
swing high.
So we're looking for a retrace into some area within this, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Like that.
So once we retrace, let's hop into a more granular area, right? So that retrace is right there. Let me just go right, right here, okay? In this area right here. Actually, it was actually further back. That's fine. Right.
Can you leave the previous time frame on there? Like it was a 5 minutes, right?
30 seconds. This is a 5 second.
Oh no, previously you had the different time frame on the right, on the left, no?
Yes, this is a new window right now.
Okay.
In Predator, I'll blow it up for you. So okay, I'll blow this one up first, Imperator, so you can see it. So we cracked right here at 9:32. Is it clear for you, Imperator, right now? 9:32 Central Standard Time, we cracked that significant low. Now we're looking for a retrace. Let me know if you can see it clearly. Previous prior low was 9:15. I agree with that. So let's use Santos's example right here at 9:41 or so, right? 9:42 where it cracked it. Let's use that. It's okay. We can use that. So we're looking for a retrace. We retraced up to 37.35. That is not deep enough for me. I need a good enough retrace. I'm actually looking for roughly about 37.37, right? Which we got up there. I'm not buying it right away, but let's mark that for fun at 9:51. All right. So then we jump to 9:51. I'll expand this. 9:51 right here. And this is a good example because there is a failure in this. Okay. 9:51 is right here, and I'll mark that as well so everyone can see it. Vertical line 9:51 is right here. All right. So there's a failure in this. Then we're looking for the same goddamn thing in this lower time frame. This low right here is significant. We come up, we crack it, we retrace, we take that short. We fail on this short. It's okay. We take this short, let's just say we take it, a shitty price, and that is about 3 points of risk, whatever. We fail. We wait for another confirmation. Right here, we break, we retest, we take this. for a short. Let's just say it's actually right there, and it's a shitty fucking short. And I'm using bad price entries for a reason. So we have a minus 30 points right there, and then from that point on, it's just game on. And it's, use your imagination as far as how far you want it to go. But what I'm trying to get at is you use multiple time frames. You guys all have levels for higher time frame levels. You have the capital flow supporting it. And then you switch to, a 5 minute, a 1 minute, a 30-second, a 2 minute, whatever the hell you want to do. And then you look at the price action within. After that, you can jump down and look at the price action for a lower time frame on that retrace, not at that same area. So you're not looking for a price action within this area on a lower time frame. I'm going to say that this is a middle time frame. You're not looking the price action for this in the lower time frame. You're looking for the middle time frame to break structure, look for a retrace within that middle time frame, jump down to a lower time frame, and then take that price action break, which is here, and never came back. Once it got down, and let's just say once it came down to the break of structure, what was it? The break of structure was at sorry, 1 second. Let's call it 37.3150, right? So once it got to 37.3150, which is right here, stop me if I'm going too fast. 30.50, right there, right? Once it gets there, we're pulling everything to break
37.
37.3150, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Never mind.
Once it breaks that, right, and it holds, we're pulling everything to break even. We're not taking profit there, not one. We're pulling everything to break even. We're going to watch, and then we're just going to let it ride, because right now it's a free train, free money. Now, if you want to be ballsy, you can most definitely, take profit at, say, 37.26, which is a major level. You can take profit at 36.64, which we're not there yet, but we're almost. It's up to you what you want to do. But you better know where you want to take profit before you do it, so you make sure you have the right, risk and reward. But the point is to have multiple time frame analysis on it. Can I see if wait, no, we already discussed that. Do you guys kind of get it?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys see the entry at the very least.
Yeah. The entry is.
Yeah. So what I do is I'll for Mike, since I don't think he's seen a lot of my stuff. I usually start with the quarterly, the monthly or whatever the hell it is, weekly, daily, and then I have my levels. Once I have my levels, I'm staring at the hourly for additional, capital flow information or additional stuff. And after that, I'll jump down to maybe a 5 minute to kind of get a little bit more granular, looking at the price action. And then after that, I'll jump down even, lower to get more precise entries. Yeah. So Chia, we talked about this earlier, we always want to do our analysis on a higher time frame. We want to identify a zone on a middle time frame, and then we want to execute on a lower time frame. So whether it's 30 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever, you just need to stack it properly. And again, the rule of 30 applies. You do not do analysis on a 1 hour chart and then execute on a 30-minute chart or something like that. It should be a rule of 30. So roughly. But that was the entry part. I think most of you guys have that down. But yeah. But it was really more so about capital flow. And I hope you guys kind of see that.
So you say for now, we pay attention to when you point
Bonds.
out what's the regime. Bonds, yeah. And then we just keep tracking how they should move.
Yeah.
Based on their daily levels, correct?
Yes, you can look at the day levels. You can look at, yeah, I would just look at the day levels. Look at where in relations to, say, the previous day, since I don't really post, active levels. I don't post major levels for it. Maybe just look at that.
Let me see. Oh, Cosmos say, can you please give another example?
With each step analysis. Sure. I'll talk about crude oil, which I also took. As you can see, I was trying to figure out and actually hit target. Cool. All right. So we had a level at 86.79. Cosmo, I don't know if I don't think you're in it. We have a level at 86.79. We also have a major level at 87.03. I did say that 86.04 was, if you're in the chatter, I said 86.04 is an extremely important level. We got up to that area. It looked weak, in my opinion. Nat gas is down. So what I did was I actually looked at, again, lower time frame. So let's just remember 86.79. And let's also remember 87.03. Okay. So let's jump down to a lower time frame. 80, what did I say it was? 86.79, 87.03. Okay. 86.79 right there. And 87.03 is already on the chart. Okay. So I'm looking within this area again. I'm looking for a reversal. I'll break a structure. We break structure here. We come back, we retest this level at 9:01. Let's just call it 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, Central Standard Time. Roughly around the area of 86.88 to whatever it is, right? So I said 9 o'clock, right? God damn it.
901.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna drop down to this time frame and zoom in. 9:01. Right here. So we came up to this area, right? And then guess what? We failed to continue. What happens? We broke structure again. Once we break structure, I'm looking for a pullback. I'm getting in right there. Once we break structure, this is structure. Once we break structure, I'm looking for a pullback. And let's just say you had a really shitty entry. Let's put it right there. Your stop loss is not the best. 29 ticks in crude is not that horrible. And let's see where it goes, right? And my target, I remember, based on, I deleted it. It was 80, what was my level? I mean, it's like 43, yep, 84.43, which is the same level I aimed for yesterday, if you were in the chat. Same exact level I was aiming for yesterday. 84.43, so 84.43 right there. A little bit lower, 1 tick. Okay, there. You have an 8.38 risk to reward ratio right there. Or am I tripping? 8.83. Oh no, you have 7. Oh no, yeah, you have 7 or something. I think it's not to the
Because
tick.
you moved the entry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, you have about like 8 something risk reward, which is great. It fucking hit it twice, all the way down here. Before you have a pullback and hit it again. So that's a step by step analysis. Right at again, the level that I'm eyeing, which is 8703, and 8679. Now, I said, and I wrote it in here somewhere. Where I printed, where is it? I said, in the levels chatter, I said 8604 is a huge level improve. So let's just, for fun, look at 8604. I know we rotated that a lot. 8604, right here. We rotated quite a bit pre-market. It was a huge line in the sand. People will fight this. Look at this. And this is just for fun, right? Magnet. %50. Pretty damn close to a swing low to a swing high. I don't really track that, but it's something I'm interested in. Like, if we're pushing down to still liquidity and we're going to push up, I'm going to look for that area. Like, is that a real push up or is that a symmetry move? And that's a symmetry move that like Fat Cat usually, looks at as well. So after it comes up to here at this level, I'm looking at everything else, looking at capital flow, looking at what Canadian dollar is doing, I'm looking at what Russian ruble is doing, and then, further on from there, figure out what is going on. So once it comes back down, or once it rejects this level, I'm okay. You can take one off of here at 8604 if you wanted to. But to me, it was going to go a lot further. And I put it right at 84.43, which, to me, this is technically holding that level. So it's just about reading the market for me. I hope that explains it, like step by step possible. Yeah. Does this make sense? Like, do you guys kind of get it? It was mainly capital flow. I wasn't trying to bore you guys with like these entries because I think like most of you guys have good entries, except for maybe Santos. Santos has excellent entries.
Getting better.
You are actually getting really, really good. And so is Shia, like both of you guys are getting better. I wish that you guys if you not wish, if you guys can, post it in the mentors chat so we could admire it together.
Yeah.
That was very
the-
helpful. Everything that you went
Yeah,
over.
I mean,
Thank you.
I know you don't really need the entry part, Retro,
It's always
but
a good review.
the capital flow part, I know you could benefit off of. The levels I have still need to read market structure better. Yeah, Chia, you know what? My fault. It was a complete fucking disaster at the Bangkok airport today. You won't believe how much I paid just to get on a flight. Like we both, my wife and I both had a ticket, and then we got there, and then like, hey, you can get a visa on arrival. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm American. Of course I can. And then
They don't
they're
like
like,
you.
yeah, no, it is like COVID. Like, oh, you can't
Wrong
anymore.
thing to
So-
say.
No, I didn't really say that. But they're like, well, you can get a visa expedited on the phone. So, I was like, okay. But that girl handed me my passport and said, you need to get it expedited. So I was like, all right. So I grabbed my passport and I'm thumbing through Google to try to get it. Anyways, long story short, what she meant to say was we both needed to, because my wife is not a US citizen. So we both needed to. So even though I got it in time, paying 250 something bucks for it, my wife needed it. So she couldn't hop on the flight, and she goes, "I have an important presentation." Blah blah blah, and then she goes, "Baby, why don't you just go first and have fun, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll take the next flight out." I'm like, "Okay." So I just left, and then came here, saw family. I didn't answer that fast, but I answered pretty damn fast. But yeah, so Chia, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to totally. I will get it out to you. As far as the levels things, Chia, the daily levels, I'll get it out to you. It's just that I needed to get other people to sign off on it. Not that it really matters. I think I can just send it to you since I programmed it myself, but out of respect, I'm just gonna do that. About no, no, I'll definitely get it out to you. But yesterday's topic on trade size, you said you would not even do 2 MES if it were you. Is there a minimum capital and risk that's related to this opinion? Yes, Demo, I definitely would not trade 2 minis, especially if you're intraday. Reason being is because unless you're calling tops and bottoms, um, you know, or maybe not tops and bottoms, but unless you get a large chunk of points, you're going to eat up into your capital. Secondly, I don't think trading anything below 3 lots is a wise idea. You actually incur more risk with 3 lots or 2 lots and below. I think 3 lots is the bare minimum, in my opinion. I think with 3 lots, it gives you flexibility to scale out and leave runners to capture all of the move. So, for instance, let's just say you were really, really good at entry and you shorted right at 37.46.25 or something like that, and it came down and you took one off at 37.27. If you're with 2 lots, you can't really afford for this to run as much as you want it to. Meaning, you're going to probably take one off a lot sooner than you think. But with 3 lots, let's just say you took one off at 37.26 or whatever, and then as it comes down, you're like, "Oh, I have 2 more on." You can let it trail. It comes down to say, you know, 37.83, where it comes back at you. You take one off. You still have 1 more on. You don't know what this is going to do. This could clearly, and I almost fully expect it to drop down an additional 13 points. So why not do that? No, Red Pie. I think that doing 2, uh, you know, micro Nasdaq is even scarier because you'll get stopped on like a fucking motherfucker. To be honest, sorry for the bad French. If you are overstretching your capital, you're going to blow up. Trading isn't necessarily about finding winners per se or finding a good system. If you have bad capital management, you'll lose. let's just say you have good entries, you have good exits, you have good trade management. If you have bad capital management, you will blow up. Yes, you can do a funded account. That is better. However, if you're trading 2 micros, I'm assuming you can't afford or you can't risk being in a combine for 6 months.
Sorry, why is that 0?
Well, I mean, like, let's just say why are you trading to MES, right?
Yeah.
It's usually based on your capital.
Yeah.
You know, unless, otherwise he wouldn't be asking about it, right? He would be like, oh, okay, well, if he says 4 MES is better, I'll trade 4 MES. It shouldn't be a question. Now, if it's a question, then you should either be paper trading or you should be doing a combine. But if you're doing a combine, it's like 150 or 300 per month, right? Or whatever it is. I don't actually remember. But if that's the case, can you really burn 150? And if you can burn 150, in my opinion, it depends on your trading style. If you can burn 150 and for 6 months, right? So, God, stupid Santos asking so many questions I can't do math anymore. So let's just say it's
You want the
150.
funds. Why are you
So let's
the calculator? Okay.
So let's just say it's 150 for 6 months is $900, right? And that's on the low end. I'd much rather just paper trade for 6 months. I know it sucks to paper trade or whatever. Pay for a cheap sim account, like $14 a month, and just trade sim. And then take that 900 or whatever, throw into a trading account at the end of the 6 months or whatever you feel comfortable, or continue to paper trade. These funded accounts, I shouldn't say funded. These combines are great. They're really, really, really good at teaching you they teach you risk management. Risk management is different from capital management. So I think they're good at it. But again, you have to ask yourself, Dima, if you're looking for to swing trade or day trade. So what's the average person imaginary 5K account? 1%. I think 1% is quite high. But also depends on what type of strategy you have. Now, a lot of people think 1% is not a lot, but on 5K account, Dima, you have to think what's the margin requirements, right? So for let's just say $100,000 account, a $50,000 account, 1% is perfectly fine. You can keep on trading it. But with a 5K account, depending on which broker you have, there's going to be a point. If you hit a losing streak, you can't continue. There's no such thing as a 1K account anymore, or 1% of 5K anymore, right? You're not going to meet that margin requirement. I've never seen take profit trader. I'm very wary about all these new guys coming in now, to be honest with you. Stick with the bigger guys, oh, by the way, I'll tell you one thing, speaking about combines, and this is 1000% true. 3 days ago, 2 days ago? What was the day I went to get you hot pot? What, you guys know that. Anyways, my friend who was I wouldn't say he's learning from me. We're learning together, I guess you can say. He made $750,000 on Apex. He works for a fund, and he works for a fund not as a fund manager, but more.
750,000?
Yeah, 750. He works for a fund, not as a trader, not as an analyst, but he works for a fund. Let's just put it that way. He is subjected to certain trade restrictions. So he has to trade through either, he has to trade through different means. So he chose Apex Trader, and I'm gonna say this right now because I never fucking believed in them. He chose Apex Trader because of one reason. Two reasons. One is a trade multiplier or the trade copier, which we've talked about in here. Secondly, because they're not truly a fucking broker. So he doesn't have to register anything. Now, what he did was he was trading 3 contracts and doing well. All of a sudden, for one A+ setup, he put 9 in. And he fucking hit a motherfucking home run. He made so much money within that trade. And with plus trade copiers, I think he had 10 separate accounts. And he's paying for it monthly as well. He made $750,000. And then what happened was when he went to go, withdraw it, Apex Trader said, you broke a rule because you went from 3 to 9. You weren't consistent. We've made our deductions, and now your account has 50,000. So I'm trashing them. Yeah, exactly, Retro. I'm trashing them, but at the same time, I'm saying go with the reputable ones, right? The earn to trades, the top steps, the FTMO ones, right? Like, don't, Sully, you can't sue Apex because they're not even a registered broker. What they do, and I am not 100% certain of this, but it only makes logical sense, is that if you trade, let's just say 3 contracts, they'll allow you to keep on trading 3 contracts. They'll just keep copying it tenfold or, front run you or whatever it is. Like if you're a good trader, right? They recognize you're a good trader, you pass all the programs, they'll just copy your trades. You're doing a trade copier, they're doing a trade copier in your trades. And I'm pretty sure it's not difficult algorithm to figure out like, hey, if this guy's putting 3 trades on 10 fucking accounts is 30, so let's up it to 90. And then if you make money, they'll just pay you out, especially if you prove that you're a good trader. But what I'm trying to get at is you can't sue these guys. There's no fucking way they're going to pay out of their pocket because your orders are not truly going to the market. They're not going to pay you $750,000. Yeah, Mike, it is a consistency rule, but it's also bullshit, right? So I know for a fact, for Top Step, if you trade 1 contract while you're funded, and then all of a sudden you bump up to 3 or 4, depending on what program you're on, and even 15 if you're on the highest program, and you've built enough to get to 15 on the scaling plan, and I can't comment on anything else, but if you do that, they won't say, hey, we're not going to pay you because you're inconsistent.
Like go away, I absolutely think that there is a point in time where they're not going to be very good. I don't know when that is, and it could be tomorrow. But today definitely traded differently. Like the overall vibe and tempo was different. I do also, I mean, what I learned today. We do need to add this while we're here. Another learning point was just changing, and we can't forget this, changing the color of the retail tape. This did help me track retail way easier, and it did have tells of sediment shift Also, much like tracking mid hits on a specific price, I can now track Also, I mean, I can't forget that the shifting of the color on the retail, I think, was really solid because, like for instance, if we're trading like say 60 even, and then I see a bunch of buyers on the mids hitting 60 evens, like 20 lots and shit, when it pulls away from that area, and if the tape's kind of mixed up or whatever, there's a high probability that these mids will hit that 60 again. And what I'm noticing is you can identify a sentiment shift through the retail trading because now we're in the day and age where trades are being cut up more. So like it just they're cutting up more trades through the retail tape. So you can kind of notice that. Like if I see, that it's mostly selling, but all of a sudden on the retail tape, but all of a sudden there's a huge block. And when I say block, it's not to be confused with a 100 lot trade. When I see when I see the tape go from mostly red to there's just a huge strip of blue on 60, and it pulls back down from that, there's a high probability that they will do that again in that area. Now, leveraging that would be a little uh, yeah, so I do like the retail being like that. It's just easier to track, so we can't forget about that. So what's really great is not only did we trade really fucking good today, which I kind of needed because the last day or two has been a struggle. And we brought in a lot of new things as of recent, right? Splitting the profile, coloring the retail tape differently. And at first it did fuck with my eyes, but then it was no problem. And then leveraging the channels. So I would say that today is a massive pivot in my trading, to where, which is great because you guys get to witness that. That it's just a slight pivot, a massive pivot to where it's just one of those days because there's those points in your trading where you have these days where you just something sticks out to you and it changes your course, like an airplane. If you turn it 1 degree to the left, 1,000 miles later, you're somewhere completely different. And I would say today is one of those days. And also the performance was amazing. And I would say introducing the gamma might have helped because that's another thing. Uh, does I introduced binarial beats, more so gamma? I think it's gamma, right? What would it be? What was it? The gamma waves? I think it was gamma. I need to tap into our conversation. Yeah, it was the gamma wave. Gamma wave, which targets better focus. I'm wondering if this also helps with being in the zone today, because I really was locked in. If anybody wants, you don't have to use, like, I did share mine, but you could take this clip and potentially play it without my voice on the back end of your shit, because mine has the loop timer. We'll put that in there. So there quite a few things here. Would you say you kept things more simple going into today? Yeah, I believe so. I wouldn't say I kept things more simple, because obviously I was tracking the higher time frame and the lower time frame simultaneously. Honestly, I was tracking a shitload of stuff today, Slim. So I was just able to focus on a tremendous amount of information. And leveraging the channels certainly helped, but then we leveraged the retail. But also how I was super focused in, right? But also I had a nerd focus, which this is one of my is Toker here? Okay. So I'm gonna take a few pictures of this shit. So this is a nootropic drink. It's not really an energy drink. I fucking love these fucking things, but I do drink them not frequently, but relatively frequently, because they're hard to find, and I found a place that has them. But I wouldn't say that would be it entirely, because something seemed different. So it could be a combination of all this. But it's more of a nootropic drink. Not really, because I used to make my own stack, and DMAE was an ingredient. I wouldn't say this was the entirety. I'm wondering if the gamma shit did help as well. Obviously, there's so much things that have been introduced in this session that, what the fuck, you know what I mean? I take Huperzine A daily. That's good, man. Little microdose of motion. I do have shrooms, but I can't seem to dial it in. That I'll end up tripping and shit, or I don't take enough, and I've done it. It's just weird. Yeah, if you take too many. Yeah, you can. No, on the mushrooms. He's talking about microdosing mushrooms. Well, the shit I got is really powerful. It's called Tidal Wave, and like, not much goes an extreme. So trying to dial it in is a problem, and then like storing it and shit. And I coffee grind them into capsules, but I don't know. It just, I don't think it's for me. I don't want it. Like, I've been able to get a proper microdose in for trading to where I'm not tripping. I just don't like it, because then I do feel good, but the problem is I'm a little too loose at that point. Where today I was tight. Like, I felt great and shit, but I was more tight on the focus end. Like, more of a focused Adderall tightness in my brain almost. So why I don't use coffee? I used to eat coffee beans and I get crash. I'll get hit with a nasty crash with and I don't like the taste of coffee. I used to eat the beans, but caffeine will fuck me. Obviously, I think you can lace it up with L-theanine, which takes out some of the edge, but caffeine just isn't. I don't know, man. I do consume a shitload of caffeine. But it's just not good. It's just not that great. I don't know. There's other shit from. Yeah, see, I don't know. Maybe I've had too much of the shit. One stack I do really like is Paracetam. A good place where I used to buy a lot of shit is from here. If you're in the US, their shipping is insane. They fucking get to you insanely quick. Maybe Canada too, but Nootropics Depot is really solid. Where is it? There is this insane shit, PLR, I think. I don't know if they still have it. No, I forget what it is. Where the fuck is the where's the Racetam family? Well, it's Paracetam, which there's a huge Racetam. There it is. This is the cheapest shit too. Paracetam. I used to have a stack with Paracetam, choline. I don't remember which choline, and DMAE. And I noticed taking that over the long run, it didn't really make a noticeable difference during a session or anything, but taking it over the long run, my memory did increase substantially. I was a lot sharper, and it was a custom stack. Paracetam definitely, out of all the Racetams, I believe Paracetam has the most clinical trials to it. Paracetam initiates everything. You mean makes it more new out there? You grow there's a new stuff out there. You can grow your nuts by 400%. Like my balls. I don't know if I want my balls to increase by 400%. But that's kind of inconvenient. You know what I mean? You can't cross your legs when you sit down anymore. Let's see. That maybe I should. Let's see. Be stuck with little nuts. It makes me swim faster. If you like to pair any stim with Paracet, it just makes it that much stronger. The problem with taking too much Paracetam though is it gives you headaches, and that's where you need that choline, because apparently the Paracetam eats off the choline or whatever the fuck. But yeah, that I would get massive headaches. I do like Lion's Mane for sure. Lion's Mane is fantastic, but it's not like this super performance increase. There is this Russian research called PRL, I think. Yeah, this bullshit. It's very harsh on the teeth. And I only did it like once. It doesn't have any clinical trials. And it kicked in way too late on me, but when I took this shit, I could remember people's license plate numbers and shit. I think this is it. Some of the other paracetams are too hardcore for me. I'm very sensitive to stacks. I believe it was this shit though. It's wild. PRL. I'll only this shit right here. PRL 853. I think it is. Yeah. A little goes a long way. I didn't really like, and it's very expensive. $20 for a half gram. Taking a file in terms of cotton, it's almost like a modafinil. Like I took this hardcore racetam. I think it was paracetam. No, was it? It was the more hardcore of the racetam family. I did not fucking like it. Like I will get fucked up. Phenylparacetam, I think, is the more hard. Yeah, phenyl. The phenyl shit was way too hardcore. It just was too much. I didn't like it. Like I need a more subtle shits. What I really like also, but the thing is I kind of get like desensitized to it really quick, is uridine monophosphate. Oh, there it is. This shit is awesome. Like, and I believe there's quite a few clinical trials behind uridine as well. Uridine is awesome. I'd like to have stacks that I'd like to get back into it, but like I feel some of these stacks need to be cycled, otherwise you just get too used to it, you know. I've never done modafinil. Is that the bullshit the French give to their military? That's like an Adderall style of shit. I had somebody get a, I don't remember what it was, and they sent down as, yeah, dude. No, Slim, if you get into, I mean, you got shit like your krill oils, which are really, it's basically a fish oil. And that it's no different than, it's just vitamins essentially. If you're really wanting a boost in your cognition, the uridine could help, but you can. There's other thing like the mushrooms, like cordyceps. Where there's a cordyceps. These motherfuckers grow out of dead bugs. Like it, the way it hosts bugs, and it's crazy. This shit makes me horny as fuck. It gives you a lot of energy, but goddamn, dude, I don't fuck with that. What drugs? And honestly, if you get yourself I've only made, like, I've fucked with a few like stacks, but I would do paracetam. I don't remember the ratio. I gotta find the ratio. It would be paracetam, and I spelt it wrong. DMAE and choline. Choline comes out of eggs. I don't remember the ratio of it, but that's one of my favorite stacks I used to do a lot of. Obviously, the way you got to mix it is like you got to make sure you're mixing it good. That stack over the long run, I noticed the best performance, because my first introduction to nootropics was Alpha Brain, you know, Joe Rogan shit. It was expensive, so I started to go down the route of making my own shit, and I found this like somebody's ingredients with the paracetam, and I noticed, and I hadn't really fucked with it in trading, but when I used to wait tables, over the long run, it did make a fucking gnarly difference. Like It was good. I've done a lot of lion's mane, and I don't. That apparently promotes nerve growth factor, but I don't notice these insane performance increases at all. I would say if when I've noticed performance increases was using Uridine for sure. But that doesn't, you can't keep doing it every fucking day. I was going to ask you about Alpha Brain. It's not like Adderall. It's so subtle, and you have to take it over the long run for it to really work well. Like that stack I listed, it works, but that's something you continue to do. Because if you cycle off of it for a week, you feel like a retard. And then it's you're slightly sharper. And nicotine, have you ever used from? I don't do nicotine. Nicotine gets me sick. I don't know if they have Hooperzine. I think that's the only time I've ever had Hooperzine was with this drink. Yeah, there it is. You can get the powder or the capsule versions, and their shipping is insanely fucking fast. Hooperzine, I haven't, and I believe they are third-party tested on some of this shit, as well. But there's so much shit to go down. You can get into, there's like, you have your mushrooms, you have your racetams. What I really like are like some of the natural extracts. I love lemon balm. Lemon balm is awesome, but then they have these like extracts that are like lemon balm on fucking steroids, as well. I believe I've tried this, but lemon balm doesn't chill me the fuck out like you normally would. Well, it does. It's more of a chill deal, but I get kind of focused on it. And then you have your what's that other family, the ashwagandha. But they have different extracts like the KSM 66, which is like a super extracted version of the normal ashwagandha and the Sensorol. Or you can buy a sample pack with all three if you'd like to try that. Ashwagandha's okay. I don't remember. There's another shit. What is it? This shit is interesting as well. I'd like to. I believe this shit was pretty good as well. What the fuck is it called? I don't remember. Something with an SH, I thought. It's not shiitake. I don't remember the name of it. But I'm going off a tangent here. I need to do this bullshit. So I don't know what today could have been a huge combination of a lot of things. Have you heard of microdosing psychedelic mushrooms? Yeah, we just talked about that. It doesn't give me the laser focus. I feel too loose. Sure, I feel great and shit, but it's not. I need to be more dialed in. It's too loose for me. I think if you have a lot of tilt or anger problems, it might help. But it's not. I need this super laser focus. And it just, I'm too loose on it. It's let's see. I often feel, let's see, changes I need to make today. Focus on channels, allow them to sync. I didn't leverage them at first, but then I noticed how they were fucking me a bit. Once they were leveraged, things got way smoother. So I need to prioritize them. I often feel I have A's, and while that may be true, I finally had a higher time frame A+, and those don't come around that often. They're not an everyday thing, basically. I need to differentiate A's on small hands versus A's on higher time frame, multiple factors of support trades. That's where I can further step up sizing. I do need to come out of the 8 lots into a potential 10 to 16 lot trade. Overall, but I need to really dial that in. Overall, the trading today was super solid. I made stellar calls with proper sizing. Didn't break my rules on the first day of listening to the 3 trade soundtrack, but it did work in the matter of keeping me hyper aware of hunting with high prob plays. Maybe the gamma waves are what also helped. I love using flop turn river as this helps me understand EV shifts better. Flop turn river applies to micro patterns and smaller techniques as well as A's. Wait, smaller techniques as well as A's. But doesn't what the fuck? But does an A entry? So what's interesting, I'm gonna just kind of draw this up a little bit because I think this is kind of interesting. Where the fuck is my pen? Give me a second. So So let's say we have some sort of like higher, like today we had that fucking channel setting up, right? So this is a 3-year profile and it kind of had this bullshit going on in the center. What happened was it never hit the high volume edge down here, so that's the flop. And then when it came up, it hit up here. And since it was already cycling, really it had, this was the 5th test into this section. So really it coming in a 6th time and actually breaching was the flop. So this would be the turn. And then right up here is where it became an A because there was so much context. This would be the river. But if we like further dissect it, you know, when it's coming up here, it had a bunch of fucking slips, and the way it was coming up on the micro price action, the flop, turn, and river could all be within that. And while there might be an A on the micro pattern, does that A mesh with the A on the higher time frame? And when that happens, that's when I believe it's an A plus. And there was so much context, and also we were volcano topping on the RTH session as well as the higher time frame. So that's that alone was meshing beautifully. So not only did you have the 3-year time frame have the same exact pattern as the RTH time frame, you had a bunch of context. And just anytime I share these really fat trades, now while I wouldn't say, yeah, that was definitely a 50 or 48 tick trade, which is pretty rare for this type of environment. But I believe that the flop, turn, and river are being done on different time frames. So just because, and then I believe you're getting pocket aces on the micro pattern as well as the higher time frame pattern. I do believe that while I can get a really solid scalp, is that really a pocket set of aces on a very small time frame? Yeah, but it won't run super good. So is that even a pocket ace? That might be something else. But it's like a high probability play on a smaller time frame. I'm just thinking. But the thing is, it's not really meshing with something else on a higher time frame. That you know what I mean. And that's why I called that trade like a fucking flush almost, because it was more than getting pairs. It was more of the better play. So I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and I do need to make because I need to get the fuck out of here. I gotta go. But I'm gonna make a video on that play because somebody was asking me how do you quickly do a playbook, and I'm going to show them on YouTube. So that play will be on YouTube. But I'm gonna go film it now, so I'll talk to you guys later.